Okay, this video is gonna be so long. I hope you don't mind. I'm definitely like still sounding kind of plugged up. Definitely feeling like a lot better, but yeah. So I'm gonna have a little stuffy voice and you're gonna be mouth breathing a bunch. Also, while I was opening everything, I pulled a Meg and I cut myself. Nice. Okay, let's get started because there's like a billion things to go over. First up, this one is crazy. I did not know this was gonna be this big, and now I don't know where I'm gonna put it. But I pre-ordered Porter Robinson's new album on like a deluxe box set kind of thing. But look how fucking huge this thing is. It's gigantic. So yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but it's very cool. And then you open it up, and it's a little limited in what's actually included. This is like an art book. So we'll see what's in there. I'm excited to take a peek through that. And then there is, let me pull out the other stuff that's in here. Again, pretty limited. There's just the actual album on vinyl and a print of the album art with a number. So this is 583 out of 2000. And then it also comes with a 7-inch of the best song on the album. So yeah, pretty stoked for that. I pre-ordered that ages ago, and I was like trying my hardest to hold off on listening to it until it came in, but it came out like fairly early in the year, and I only just got it now. So I was like, you know what? I need to just listen to it. And so I have already listened to it. It is very good. It is number 2 on Britta's Album of the Year list. So highly recommended. Let's see. Fuck, I have so much stuff. Next, I'm gonna do all the like random stuff that isn't from Black Friday. So first up, we have this Wisp 7-inch. It's got 2 songs that were released as singles but are not on the album, well, EP, that came out earlier this year that I loved. So stoked that those are out. I got this One Scene Unity comp. I haven't listened to all of this, but the reason that I bought it was 2 songs. There is a Scarab song and a Balmora song on here that are just for this comp. So I'm excited to listen to all the other bands and stuff. See, there's a Firestarter song. Actually, a lot of bands I don't know. So, stoked to check it out. Get some random assorted hardcore songs. Next up, this is the new Nails album. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I did like it enough to get it on vinyl. And I use an app called Shop. I'm sure you know about it. I think it's like through PayPal or whatever, but you can like save all your information in there and it makes it super easy to check out. But whenever you use it, you start accruing like cash that you can use. And then they also just give away like $5 at a time sometimes. So I had like a balance built up and I was like, well, shit, I gotta spend it before it expires. And so this was the perfect thing to get. This one I'm very excited about. Spirit of Versailles discography. This is so fucking sick. I think it's the first time it was ever pressed on vinyl, and yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm so excited that we're gonna get to see them at Year Renaissance. That's gonna be fucking awesome. Next up, on Broken Wings' second album. I have never listened to this, but the first one's amazing. As you know, from when we listened to it and when we saw it just recently. And I also kind of just buy most stuff that Days presses at this point. So with the pedigree of it being a Days release and a band that I loved the first album of, I'm pretty excited. So first time it's ever pressed on vinyl. Came out in like 05 or something. This one will not surprise you at all. Get fucked. Super hyped for that one. It has both the demo and the, they did like a promo later on. The promo's not as good. Still solid, but not as good. But it's got both of them on there, so that's very cool. Next up, the new Counterparts EP. We listened to it together, and I quite enjoyed it. It was heavy as fuck. And this album art is just ridiculous. So, yeah, I picked that up as soon as we listened to it. I quite enjoyed that one. And then the last, like, kind of... Oh, no, not quite yet. The last record of the vinyl, of the random section is the new Candy EP. I I've seen them before, and their first album was like fine. It was good, but it wasn't like anything crazy. But their new album this year, people loved, and I liked it. And then this EP they put out, and I liked it even more. It legitimately might make my top 10 list. It's crazy. Extremely heavy, extremely violent. Uh, Lots of some like new metal kind of stuff in there, some electronic-y stuff. It's like very original. It's very cool. So it also has like some of the ugliest album art I've ever seen. It's just a bunch of people fucking on a boat while the world is on fire, but it's ugly. Let's see. And then shirts now from the random section. I got this volcano shirt, one I can actually wear out and about. And then this is the name of the new album that's gonna be coming out. Fucking finally. But this they randomly put out because the vocalist is having some like major back issues. Needs to get like surgery, constant pain kind of thing. And so I donated a couple $100, I think, to a GoFundMe, and then they also like put out that shirt as like a fundraiser kind of thing. So had to get that. And then this one I got during the Black Friday sale. Touche was doing one on their site, so I have another Touche shirt now. It looks pretty cool. What I didn't realize is that it's actually like a tour shirt, and was not in any of these. But yeah, their Black Friday stuff was extremely limited. This was like the only shirt they had in large. Everything was like XL only or small only. And like, yeah. But anyways, I bought that and something else that cannot be shared with you yet. You'll see. On their Black Friday thing. So, probably going to cut it here for the next one, but I'm just going to keep it rolling. Next up is Black Friday stuff. Here is everything I bought from Days. I was originally going to wait until I got all the Black Friday stuff, but Triple B hasn't even, like, shipped it yet, so I'm just like, whatever. We'll get there eventually. So for Days, first up, I got this sick as fuck Weapon of Pleasure shirt. I love that split so much, man. The World of Pleasure Weapon X split, so good. And that one is a bit more World of Pleasure-y than the other one, which is then the hoodie, which is more like just Weapon X. So, very stoked for that. And now here's a bunch of records. So first up is Big Boy Spring Promo. I actually haven't listened to this whole thing, but it's got my favorite song on it. The one they started with when we saw them, Spades. So, stoked to check that out. People fucking love this band, as you saw. And they're a band that I, like, never listened to, but have seen live a couple times, and they always go hard as fuck. So, yeah, excited to, like, actually listen to them for reals. Next up is this Living Weapon 7-inch. This band is the least successful of the .fm bands. It's one of the guys from Vane, and he's in Fleshwater too, but this is like his project that he sings on, and he's the main guy. Extremely heavy. I saw them open for Vane, and I saw Candy there too, so that makes sense. But yeah, I remember enjoying them. Haven't really gone and listened to them since, but as you will see, I kind of went crazy at both Days and especially Death Wish with stuff that, like, I know of but haven't listened to. So, yeah, I went a little crazy. So, anyways, Living Weapon. Next up, I didn't even know this existed, and this is awesome. Dead Heat Mind Force Split. This is, like, old stuff from both of them. I think this is, like, from, like, 2017 or something. But I like both of these bands a lot. And people say that old Dead Heat is, like, the best Dead Heat. So, I'm very stoked to listen to this. I didn't even know this existed, so this is gonna be cool. Get this stuff out of the way. Next up, also haven't listened to this, but I love this band, Simulacra. This is their album. I've only heard the EP that came out, oh my god, was it this year? It might have been the end of last year, but it was, like, or early on in the year. But that EP was awesome. And so this is their album from like a year or two before. And so I have high hopes for this because they're sick. Next up is Abrasion. I saw this band at like one of like a pretty early hardcore show that I'd been to. I don't remember who they were opening for, but they were really good, really heavy, really beat downy. And then they played at For the Children, like one of the pre-shows, and it was like their last show ever. So kind of bummed that I only got to see them that one time when I didn't really know hardcore. This was like a long time ago. But yeah, had to get the record because they were pretty good. Next up, Haywire. Saw a bajillion of these at For the Children. Quite like this album. It grew on me. The first time I heard it, I was like, it's just like too like classic hardcore punky for me, but it really grew on me a lot. So pretty stoked on this one to finally have this. Next up is Field of Flames. This band, I honestly I don't know if I've ever listened to them, but they're from the Bay, and so people love them. And I think I checked out like one song. I was like, they go hard. And so yeah, I'm stoked to finally check this out. Rep some more Bay shit. And then a lot of this band is in other bands now. Like this is the dude from Tsunami with long hair, and this guy's in Extinguish. I don't know about the other guys, but yeah, San Jose Hardcore, gotta get it. And then Days, like they also like distro some stuff that they don't actually put out. I'm sure some of the ones in there were that, but this one was the funniest one because it does not fit at all. Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen. This is a classic album, has Unholy Confessions on it, which is like the pop metalcore song. Not even pop metalcore, it's like, it's different from the like, well, there is singing in it too though, but they're different from like the like very popular like heavy riffs into singy choruses parts kind of stuff, because they have like a lot more like core in there, you know, like with like some punky stuff. But Unholy Confessions is like the metalcore riff for, you know, for the very popular kind of metalcore. So yeah, stoked to get this. I already have their self-titled album, so the only one I need is City of Evil now for like albums I really care about by them. Okay, and now here is the big one. Oh god. Holy shit. Here is all of the fucking Death Wish stuff that I got during Black Friday. I have a problem. Days was already kind of bad, but it wasn't so bad because I already have a bunch of Days stuff. And Triple B was the same thing because I'm just not as into Triple B bands compared to like Days stuff. But Death Wish obviously has a very broad catalog of stuff that they put out and that they distro. So there was a lot of stuff on here that was time to pick up, basically. And I was kind of a little like, at this point I was like kind of getting anything that I was interested in. So I went a little crazy here. But first one that's been missing, Title Fight Spring Songs. This one is honestly like the last Title Fight thing that I've been missing, unless we count the really old stuff. They just repressed the Kingston EP, so I got that, and that's coming in the mail. And then all that's left is really, there's like a split or two that are impossible to find that are on their first album, but their first album on vinyl is just the songs that were made for that. It's really like a collection of 3 or 4 like EPs and splits and stuff. So got to fill in those like random singles and stuff. But aside from that, this is like the last thing that I've been missing. So got that one. This one I was so stoked to see because it was like $2. It's a band that no one's heard of. They're called Purge. I found them because they put out a split with a band called Jarhead Fertilizer, and it's like easily my favorite power violence I've ever heard ever. It's like insane. It like is brutal. It's like almost hard to listen to because it's so just like and like heavy and crazy and screaming, but they're really fucking good. And so this is like another EP that they put out separate to that split. So stoked to get that for so fucking cheap. Now this one I haven't listened to, but I like all the 3 bands on it. So it's a split between All Under Heaven, Leaving Time, and Glare. All 3 of these bands are on, what's it called? Sunday Drive Records. We're out of Texas, and I've been putting out a lot of really good stuff in the last couple of years. Lots of the, like, heavy shoegaze kind of stuff. They also put out, Strange Joy, who I fucking love. But, yeah, I like all 3 of these bands, but I've never heard any of the songs on the split, so stoked for that. Next up is the actual albums. So here's Gouge Away, Burnt Sugar, 2, Once For You. Yeah, Old Gouge Away is awesome, the songs that you showed me. So stoked to be, like, filling in the back catalog. Next, this is a band called Frail Hands. Screamo band. I only know, like, one song on here. I think it was from, like, Spotify Discover Weekly or something, but it's so good. It's really good, and they have a girl screamer, which I'm always a sucker for. She sounds fantastic. They're, like, chaotic, heavy, but also, like, good pretty parts, and just, yeah. So I'm very stoked to listen to this. Next up, you'll like this one. American Nightmare, first album. Literally while I was going through the Death Wish stuff, I saw this and asked if you wanted it, and you already had it. And then I started listening to it just for myself while I was looking through stuff, and I was like, fuck, this is so good. So I hope we can go to New York to see them, because fucking hell, this is so good. Next up, here's a classic that has kind of missed me a little bit, but I, like, kind of knew that I needed to listen to it, and then I also was checking it out while going through it, and I was like, fuck, this is incredible. I don't know why I haven't listened to them. This is Page 99, classic 90s screamo, basically considered, like, the best of the best, along with Orchid and Seisha and Drum's Dream and stuff. The best of the best of that time period. And this is from 2001, and oh shit, it also has songs from their split with City of Caterpillar. But yeah, I listened to, like, 2 songs or whatever, and I was like, this is fucking incredible. So, very excited to listen through all of that. Next up, Drum's Dream, the new album. We listened to it together. It was so good, and we saw a lot of it live, too. Yeah, just been a long time coming. Needed to pick it up. Very good. Next up, this one is kind of a crazy purchase, but I didn't even know it existed, so I was like, well, I gotta get it. It's a band called Heroin, and it's their discography. They are kind of like the missing link a little bit between, like, post-hardcore, emo, hardcore indie rock kind of underground stuff, and screamo. They're, like, basically proto-screamo. One of the first, like, screamo bands. Like, this is, like, 1990. God, I'm so plugged up. 1990 when they were recording this shit. And yeah, I don't know anything on this, but I was taking a peek and listening to some of it. I was like, this sounds cool, and honestly, I'm just, like, intrigued to listen to all this, because they're a super important part of the history of screamo, and a reason why there's so much screamo in San Diego is because they're from San Diego. That's, like, kind of, like, they like, started that scene there, kind of, you know. So, very important band. Stoked to check it out and learn a lot about them. Next up is Scalp, Black Tar. Have not listened to this album. It came out this year. I've been meaning to check it out. They are deathcore in the truest sense of, like, not like the, like, poppy. It's not poppy, but the, like, deathcore that got really popular in the 2000s, like Suicide Silence and stuff. Nothing like that. It's truly, like, death metal hardcore. And it's, like, brutal. It's extremely heavy. I haven't listened to this one, but I've listened to their first album, and I saw them at Sound and Fury, and they were fucking incredible. I think that was the first year, maybe it was the second year that I went, and they were really, really good. So I've been meaning to listen to this one, so finally picked it up. Next up is Sanction. I know, like, 1 or 2 songs on here, and they actually took it off of Spotify, so I was like, that was kind of the reason where I was like, well, I need to get this. They are, look at this, Days number 7. Very, very old. Well, old for me. But yeah, they're, like, really heavy, like kind of industrial at times. People love them. They're like basically broken up, but I saw them at LDB, which was very cool. Uh, and yeah, they're super good. And then the guy that runs Days is like from this band, so that's why it's one of their first releases. But yeah, people love this band, and I've been meaning to listen to the whole thing. But there's like one or two songs on here that I really like, and now it's on Spotify. I'm like, well, shit, I need to get it. And then here's the last two. These ones were also kind of crazy, but similar to Page 99, some like classic screamo that has kind of missed me. I know about them, but haven't listened to them much. This is a band called Rain. I believe they're Italian, or maybe they're French. Somewhere in Italy. Somewhere in Europe. But yeah, they're like mid 2000s, like 2004, I think. And really, really highly regarded. And I listened to some of their stuff, and it's not as chaotic as some other screamo. It's like a lot more of the pretty parts. Still has screamos elements, obviously, but yeah, kind of the other side of screamo that I quite enjoy also. So yeah, this is like their album, and then this one is a collection of EPs and split appearances and stuff. And like, if you look at this, there's so many cool splits on here. Like, they have a split with Ditro, who I have an album by, a split with Funeral Diner, who are like San Francisco legends. I need to get their stuff on vinyl, but they, before Funeral Diner, they were in Portraits of Past, who we're going to see reunited at your Renaissance. So I was popping off over that one. And then some other splits I don't recognize, but then this one, Loma fucking Prieta. So hell yeah. And then this one with a band called Ampere that I really like. That's like, Ampere is like the most chaotic, crazy, heavy as fuck, screamo. So yeah, this is finally everything. You are calling me right now, so I'm gonna end it right now. But thanks for listening.